What's good, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and remake from scratch Ken Carson's Off the Meter featuring Playboi Carti and Destroy Lonely. The tempo for this one is 140 beats per minute, and the track is produced by Starboy, Outtatown, Gabe, and DJ Moon. Let's go ahead and start off with the main chords that we hear loop throughout the entire track. So for that sound, we're going to go ahead and use Logic's ES2 synthesizer. We'll use the default setting that loads up. Let's go ahead and draw in that chord pattern and then get to some sound design. Next, just go ahead and duplicate that pattern over 2 octaves. So we're going to select all of our notes and we're just going to duplicate it up over 2 octaves. Except on this one, I'm going to add in the top B here. And then we're just going to go ahead and duplicate this over the entire 4 bars. Just like that, we'll move this over. All right, now the sound design. The first thing we're gonna do in Logic's ES2 synthesizer is go ahead and turn on unison so that the sound is nice and wide. We're gonna pull up the number of voices here. So I want a super solid, but I want a little bit of noise in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and, for our third oscillator, put in some noise here. Put it closer to the 2 oscillators. Let's add in some detuning to get that analog feel to it. Let's add in some resonance. And then all we really need to do is adjust the amp envelope. So for that, we're just gonna go ahead and bring down the sustain. So it's nice and plucky. Bring up the release a bit. Up the attack a bit. And then we'll just bring in a reverb. So we'll go Control Command P, we'll go Logic's Chroma Verb. And we're just gonna go bring in a preset here. It's found under space. We'll use the clean space preset. Making that a little bit bigger. Next, we're gonna get to that effects that happens in the background. I call it like a bubble effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new software instrument track. We'll go bring in Logic's Alchemy. And we're gonna bring in a preset here called Scream Sync. And we're gonna go ahead and just load in that preset right over here. We're gonna turn it on to the dark pattern. We'll just pull up the cutoff. We'll put in the pattern and then we'll get back to some sound design because we may need to adjust some things along the way. Then we're gonna take that, copy that over, and just lower the velocity so it's a softer hit. All right, so it's not quite that bubbly sound that we need. Let's get to some sound design. So inside Logic's Alchemy, what we're gonna do is just pull down the delay a bit first. Let's go and soften it up so it's not so plucky. Then let's bring in EQ to take out some of the highs. So we'll just double click this right over here or single click. And let's go ahead and take out some of the highs here at the top. And let's take out some of the lows as well. Next, let's bring in some chorus. Control Command P, we'll bring in Logic's chorus. We'll bring in that guitar summer preset, and then we'll bring in a reverb here. We'll just bring in Logic's Chroma Verb, and we'll go to the, bring in this cave preset here I like to use. So now you kind of get that bubbly feel to it. Next, let's get to the drums. I'm gonna go over to my library browser. We're gonna go over to my user patches, drum kits, and I'll bring in the drum kit I put together for this remake, the Off the Meter drum kit. Just gotta find it in this list right here. Let's go to, there it is, right over there. We're gonna start off with the clap because it's something easy. Just put it right on the 3. Bring the snare. If that doesn't happen every 16 steps, we'll just take the second half out here. Let's draw on the hi-hat, create a new pattern region here. We'll take a 2-step 8 pattern. Except we gotta add in 1 note repeat. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go over to repeat. And we're just gonna put in a little roll right there. All right, now the 808. Duplicate this over. This just drops to the B, and this one right over here, add in 1 more note. And then to make that 808 punch a little harder, we're gonna add in a top kick. What we're gonna do here is just duplicate this down. We're gonna put all the notes on the same value, and then we're just gonna find the root note of this kick. I think it's right. There it is right there. All right, now it's just gonna sit on top of that kick and it'll punch through the mix better. All right, next, that lead synth. So what we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and copy over everything here. We'll create a new software instrument track. We'll bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. To start, we'll go ahead and just move over to oscillator 1. We can turn these off, doesn't really matter. And we're just gonna turn it over to a sine wave. We'll draw in the pattern and then we'll get to some sound design. That's too low. Just going to duplicate that over. So there's the lead pattern right there. Next, let's get to some sound design. So the first thing we want to do is make this sine wave nice and full. So we're going to turn on unison. And that's all we're really going to do. But then you need that gritty sound that we hear in the original song. So let's go ahead and bring in a bit crusher for that effect. I'm going to close out Logic CS2. We'll go Control Command P and we'll bring in Logic's bit crusher. Now I'm going to start off with a preset here, the 4-bit classic. And that's really all there is to it. Then we just got to add in some reverb. Control Command P, bring in Logic's Chroma Reverb. And once again, I'm going to go to the same reverb I like to use, Effects Cave. Bring that down a volume a bit. Next, let's get to that counter lead. For this one, we'll bring in Logic's Retro Synth. And what we're gonna do here is go to a preset. We'll go to Synth Leads and we'll go over to the Tempo Maker preset. We'll go ahead and just draw on the pattern, get to the sound design after we draw on that pattern. So for this, it's only like a little sort of thing happening at the beginning of each bar, or sorry, every 2 bars. Just gonna duplicate this over. Just going to soften up the attack a little bit. Maybe we'll bring in some chorus as well. Bring down the volume. Let's go ahead and bring in EQ and just take out some of the low end so it's a little bit more mid-rangey. All right, that's good. Then we'll bring in a delay just to fill it out a little bit more. So we'll go Control Command P, and for this we'll bring in Logic's Echo. So what I'm going to do here, just pull up the dry. I'm going to bring down the mix quite a bit, pull back the feedback a little bit. Let it ring out for a little bit, and we'll pull it back. No, a little bit more. All right, and then we'll bring in a crusher here just to give it that crunchiness that we hear in the original track as well. So for that, we'll go to a preset here. We'll go to the 16-bit downshift to give it that crunchiness. All right, and then together. We can make that a little louder. We're going to get to that second lead pattern. So what we're going to do here, just copy over everything. We are going to take out this. We'll take out this. And that's pretty much it. We'll leave everything else. Let's go ahead and duplicate this main lead pattern. We're going to use the same sound on it. Just draw in a new pattern. I'm just going to follow that same little strum pattern that you hear in the other one. All right, just going to go ahead and copy that over. Then the 808 does switch up a little bit in this section. The 808 simply just go up 1 octave for 2 of the notes. So we'll open up our 808. This B right here just goes up 1 octave. So that is pretty much all there is to it. Next, what I'm going to do is mix it, arrange it, and when we come back, we'll take a listen to the final. There is Ken Carson's Off the Meter featuring Destroy Lonely and Playboi Carti. For your Logic Pro users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you. Place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I'm an expert on MIDI samples, audio samples, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You can find that entire playback down below the like button as well. If you do have any questions on this or just want to chat or have any suggestions for future videos, go chat down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.